is about the people who came before us.
Yeah, so going back to ancestral culture. So what I experienced once in Bielovesia forest, in truly ancient... So Bielovesia forest is on the border of Poland and Belarus.
I see. Okay.
I went there just after COVID and before the war started, and I spent about 10 days there. And I encountered ancestral burial grounds in the forest, and I sat there. Yes, exactly. And I sat there, and it was so beautiful. I really connected. So when we talk about sacred forest, what I want to say is I think there existed different types for different types of ceremonies, for different types of connection, for different types of action. And so ancestral forests, they held a very specific role in our culture. Our ancestors were there. We would go there and we would connect with them. We would do specific ceremonies. Perhaps there were very specific trees that were growing there, because we, of course, can always move trees around and help them and plant and so on. So there were different focuses. And I'm exploring that a lot. I'm very interested to explore those that are in India, that explore those that are in the Americas, because they have their own traditions and understanding. And I think this is like a huge field that is coming back. There are people in Russia, for example, that are totally reviving sacred groves right now. They're actually planting them in specific geometric patterns. And this is something that I would also would like to try to do. So there are a lot of movement that is alive, that is connected with this tradition, and it's really re-emerging. It's really coming back.
I feel it. What's the entrepreneurial part of the Eternal Forest that you're currently developing?
Yeah, that's a good question. So what we are going to do once we establish organization and a foundation for Eternal Forest, we would like to start a cohort of projects. So the way we work at the moment, we support land-based projects, communities, foundations with the land, eco-resorts, eco-retreats, places that are interested in having a protected forest sanctuary and kind of stewarding that forest. The way we support them is we usually help them to develop a program, the culture that will create a cycle of that community connecting to the forest. So we would bring art residencies, we would bring art and science, we would bring artistic trails, art installations, art with the forest that will actually use like living beings.
Nice.
So collaborations. That is our role. So our kind of work is kind of a plug-in solution into conservation projects and land-based projects, any kind, where people have interest in seeing how art, culture, and engaging communities, either living in the project or around the project, engaging them through that element, and also through culture of connecting deeper with land and with the place and with trees and animals and so
Talking with the spirit of this.
Talking to the spirit of the forest, yes, exactly. So the entrepreneurial part that we are developing right now is we want to kickstart a cohort, which will be a program that would run around 2 years, where we can support several projects at the same time in Portugal and several other places in Europe, but also create a program for our members. For example, there are projects that are only starting and they just want to learn and hear and understand what are the possibilities, and they want to accompany this program. And we would like to run this program in such a way that we exchange the knowledge, the learnings, we go visit each other, we create a film about it, we create a story, we publish a book, etc. And at the same time, we create a first smaller scale mutually supportive network, maybe of 10 projects at the beginning.
Per cohort,
Yes, and then we want to harvest all the learnings and we want to put them into what I call a green print.
Nice.
And a green print is a kind of a playbook, a kind of guidelines and a set of methodologies and practices and how to do your own eternal forest, and then we're going to support new communities that are coming our way to continue, planting new eternal forest sanctuaries and growing forests. And at the same time, those projects that are more advanced can be more in the mentorship role and support us in basically helping those that are just starting. So our model is activate as soon as possible a larger network around the world, and to create a mutually supportive network of community stewarded forests, and create a culture of long-term thinking and basically forest guardians around that.
Don't the governments supposed to do these things, stewarding forests? And what does it mean to steward a forest?
What does it mean to steward the forest? It's a really, really good